Hello everyone, hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to another OpTic video. The future of OpTic is still up in the air. I know we've had several videos on this, but I wanted to have a brief recap of the last week or so and what the future might be based off information just recently released on top of that. All you need to know will be linked down below for articles as well. But with that being said, this past week has still been very crazy for the future of OpTic, as more information now precludes to the fact that OpTic Call of Duty might be the only OpTic brand name to continue under the Immortals franchise, which is some pretty big news, especially because last week we saw that post of OpTic moving to LA. Along with that, we saw Crim6 reply, and apparently it was a leak of the CWL becoming the CDL. You know, if Call of Duty World League becomes the Call of Duty League, supposedly. So that could have been a giant leak and another social media error by OpTic Gaming, which we're probably not shocked by. Then, of course, we have Scumpy, both members of the Call of Duty team. For those of you guys who are somehow not aware of that, he replies with the GIF, you know, just wondering what the heck is going on up there. But still, some breaking news out there, because when it comes to those two players who did reply, those are probably the two biggest players on the current Call of Duty roster. You have to question, would that part of the roster even go to LA? Would they even want to relocate to stay under the Immortals franchise, even if it is under the OpTic Gaming name? Because shocking news, according to Richard Lewis, just a couple of days ago, guys, it could be the Call of Duty team is the only OpTic team to remain after this, and it would make a lot of sense, right? We knew about this, but his breaking news was kind of to finalize that as well, because we knew, of course, they were first bought out for the League of Legends spot. The Overwatch team, Houston Outlaws, would be sold off. The CSGO roster is currently being sold on top of that, and just most recently, of all the rosters out there, their Gears of War team has now been released. So according to Richard Lewis as well in his article, also linked down below for all of you, he has confirmed it will be every single previous or former OpTic Gaming team to be released or sold, whatever it must be, besides the Call of Duty roster. And so now it brings in the giant questions, especially for you guys, because together we know a lot more than just, you know, this guy right here. Of all the current Call of Duty members, who would actually relocate to LA to preserve their time with OpTic Gaming, especially when you throw in Hector's reply of, that ain't us? Because if that's not us, then who is, and where are we actually going, and where do these guys, or some of these guys, potentially follow Hector Rodriguez? Because to me, especially when it comes to the Call of Duty roster, they are most well known for that OpTic name. I think other esports, they're probably fine leaving behind, but the large majority of the fan base follows the Call of Duty roster. And even if it's based off rumors that apparently because the CDL or CWL, whatever it will be called, will be city based, apparently though, Immortals will try and somehow work this OpTic Gaming name into the city, whether it's LA Optics or LA OpTic Gaming, however stupid it may sound compared to just OpTic Gaming. Even if they do use that name, are these players going to go over there and relocate just to play under that now not owned Hector team, or not even organized Hector team over there? Because you look at a guy like Crim6, just recently engaged, I believe back in May. You look at a guy like Scumpy, just recently had his house finished as well, or just finally had his house redone, whatever you want to call that. Not to mention, he is one of the very few players out there who makes millions away from competing with Call of Duty. So would these players even want to get up and leave and go to LA for a short period of time, or however long they would, just to play under a new OpTic Gaming name? I think a lot of us are in doubt about that. So with all that being said, the questions do continue, and this one goes out to Hector, which I'm sure we will have sometime in the future. I love covering this stuff because I think with all of this being said, I think a lot of us are kind of worried, but at the same time, we're a bit relieved, right? The Call of Duty spot did get a CDL spot for the franchise league in 2020. That's great for the players. All of the rosters out there, I think we were okay to see them let go and play for other teams out there, but the giant mystery, you know, we are a bit worried. We're also a bit relieved, but we're still a bit more worried about, if that's not us, Hector, then who are we? Where are we going? What will we be called? And these are giant questions going forward for the OpTic Gaming story, which I will continue to cover on here. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments down below, because this topic is so controversial and still so talkable, and some crazy things I'm sure are happening sometime soon based off many of the player reactions, not to mention all the layoffs across OpTic Gaming and their former creators. I am just ever the more curious what the future may be for all the people involved. I'll see you guys sometime soon. Thank you all for watching. Bye.